Hello, hello, hello.
India's livestock sector is fast emerging as an important segment in leveraging the growth of the country's economy. The 20th Livestock Census reports a 4.6% increase in the total livestock. India is the major producer of livestock produce, but the average productivity per animal is still low due to inadequate feed and fodder, infertility, zoonotic diseases, and climatic changes. NIAB, the premier institute in the country, provides right solutions for livestock health and productivity through its cutting-edge research. Established in 2010, the National Institute of Animal Biotechnology is an autonomous institute under the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. The institute carries out translational research leading to improvements in livestock's physiology and reproductive performance to produce globally competitive livestock products.
This new generation institute has taken up several research and developmental challenges and is working towards it. And it is goal to impact directly the animal health and productivity.
NIAB's world-class laboratories specialize in research on animal genetics and genomics, bioinformatics, infectious diseases, nanotechnology, nutrigenomics, reproductive biotechnology, stem cell biology, and transgenic technology. NIAB has been successful in bringing together scientists and veterinarians from 27 centers across India as part of government's One Health approach to address the concern on zoonotic diseases. IndiCow, India's first cattle genomic chip, was developed by scientists at NIAB as part of its livestock genomics program. This chip is designed to protect and conserve indigenous cattle. The first of its kind chip was launched in 2021 by the Honorable Union Minister of State for Science and Technology.
It is India's first HD chip for identification of the indigenous cattle, and it is globally the largest chip. Institute is constantly working to generate an omics data to understand the disease prevalence and its epidemiological.
So now we can select pure breed of cow of each breed and conserve our indigenous breeds. And at the same time, there is a dictionary from which either we can make herds which can give us higher milk yield, or herds which are disease resistant, or herds which are tolerant to heat. So this is a great achievement.
Going forward, NIAB will also initiate the goat genomics program. NIAB works extensively towards detection, prevention and treatment for serious diseases like leptospirosis and Japanese encephalitis.
Under this flagship program, the team is generating different diagnostics and finding out a candidate molecule with an aim to generate a vaccine for leptospirosis.
The newly launched laboratory animal facility provides veterinary care, professional and technical support to the scientific community engaged in research activities. NIAB's state-of-the-art vaccine testing facility can test approximately 60 batches of vaccines every month.
After COVID pandemic, now the emphasis is on booster doses. Vaccine testing facility at NIAB, which is the facility given to us through PM CARES Fund. This is an identified facility for testing the vaccines. Currently, this vaccine testing facility is testing the different batches of Covishield as well as Covaxin. In future, we also plan to move ahead with the testing of animal biomolecules and veterinary vaccines.
NIAB has also commenced operations at its incubation center, promoting bio-entrepreneurship for commercial tenants involved in the development of farm animal-based products. The Biosafety Level 3 facility is monitored and managed by NIAB in a collaborative mode and is also used for academic and research purposes. The institute supports academic excellence and quality research. NIAB has so far published 127 research articles, filed 16 patents, and developed 7 different technologies. Some of its technologies developed for diagnostics and vaccines have already been commercialized.
It is appreciable that a decade-old institute generated a good number of technologies and transferred 3 of its diagnostics to different companies.
The faculty have bagged many prestigious national and international grants.
The institute has a very good number of extramural projects which are being backed by the scientists of this institute in a competitive mode through the grants from several ministries and the funding agencies.
NIAB has entered into various MOUs with established institutes to collaborate on fundamental areas of animal biotechnology and allied areas. The meeting with livestock farmers and agriculturists, MILAN, enabled the scientists to reach out to 18 states and effectively address problems and understand various farming practices across India. NIAB is a proud recipient of Swachhata Pakhwada Award twice for its neat and clean campus. The sprawling campus housing world-class infrastructure and research facilities provides ample opportunities to learn the rigors of research, interact with top faculty, and also have a relaxed lifestyle. Work-life balance is encouraged, where employees actively take part in various cultural, sports, and environmental activities.
Institute has 100 rooms hostel which houses all our students, fellows. It has its guest house, the recreation center, sports activity which are at place.
The institute conducts regular interactive training programs, lectures by eminent speakers, roadshows, and outreach programs towards socio-economic upliftment. With about 20.5 million people depending on livestock for their livelihood, research and improved livestock management are integral to human, animal, and planetary health, and NIAB is at the forefront in research and innovation. In its short journey of a decade, NIAB has proven itself as one of the premier national institutes committed to improving animal health and productivity through innovative and emerging tools of biotechnology. NIAB, the premier institute in the country, provides right solutions for livestock health and productivity through its cutting-edge research. The National Institute of Animal Biotechnology is an autonomous institute under the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. The institute carries out translational research leading to improvements in livestock's physiology and reproductive performance to produce globally competitive livestock products.
National Institute of Animal Biotechnology at Hyderabad is ready to celebrate National Science Day 2025, especially in a domain of animal biotechnology. It's not only a day which is a ritual to celebrate, but it is a lot of enthusiasm. It's a day to remember Sir C.V. Raman. It's a day to remember all the accomplishments of this country in an area of science through its own wisdom and innovation. Our aim is to spend the time with the younger minds, how to foster, how to motivate, how to encourage them to be in an area of STEM. And the brilliant students we have observed that they're very keen, they're very inquisitive. When we take them around the laboratories, when we take them to our animal sheds, and when we encourage them to make different models and interact with them. So with that, we are very, very happy and looking forward for the day.
Hello everybody, happy National Science Day. As a women scientist, I am very proud to be part of this community that strives for excellence and innovation. To all the young minds here, if you are curious, science is the field to go. Ask questions, explore, experiment and innovate. Let us together build a Viksit Bharat that is just, equitable, sustainable for everybody. Thank you and Jai Hind.
So I think it is important to connect the school kids with research institutes because it will help students to early exposure of science to them. Plus it will help them to start thinking in a very scientific manner. Plus it will also help them to take science as a career so that in future we utilize these young minds' ability to not only help us into basic science but also into the commercialization or any product development.
It's good to expose school kids and undergrad students to early research exposure. That will enhance their ability to learn new things, also thinking abilities towards the science. In addition to that, already in India we have a lot of scientific infrastructure. Exposing these scientific infrastructures to the school kids as well as undergrad students will give us more benefits.
Hello everyone, we are thrilled to invite you all to National Science Day 2025, a day to honor the spirit of discovery, innovation and the incredible power of science in shaping our life. As Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said, science is a beautiful gift to the humanity. Let's not distort it. This year, the theme of NSD 2025 is to empower the Indian youth for global leadership in science and innovation for a Viksit Bharat. Reminds us that the future of our nation lies in the hand of our young mind. Science is not about lab and equation. It is all about solving the real world problem. From clean energy to healthcare and from smart farming to space exploration. This year, let's inspire our Indian youth to think big, to innovate and ask questions for a Viksit Bharat. As Swami Vivekananda said, awake, arise, and stop till not the goal is made. Together, we can build a Vikasit Bharat that leads the world through science and technology. Let's celebrate science, celebrate innovation, and celebrate the future we are building together. Jai Hind.
Closing the gender gap in science requires breaking stereotypes, promoting role models to inspire girls, supporting women advancement through targeted programs, and fostering inclusive environments through policies and actions to promote diversity, inclusivity, and equity.
Hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be speaking before all of you today here on the occasion of National Science Day, a day that is dedicated to celebrating scientific achievements and nurturing the culture of innovation. National Science Day celebrates the discovery of Raman effect by Sir C.V. Raman, a feat for which India received its first Nobel Prize in the field of science. This day reminds us that determination, culture, innovation, and dedication can take us to extraordinary heights and breakthroughs. Being a researcher myself, I have learned to embrace the spirit of scientific endeavor, pursuit of truth, and determination. This day is not only about remembering great scientists, it's also about recognizing the power that science has in our lives. On this day, as we celebrate, let us encourage you to embrace research, fund innovation, and design an environment where ideas and innovations can be materialized into reality. Let us remind ourselves that every step that we take in the field of science, however small it may be, it always accounts for the greater good. With that, I would like to wish you all a very happy National Science Day.
Hello everyone, my name is Minakshi.
My name is Pratyusha.
A very good afternoon to all. It's my pleasure to be speaking in front of all of you on the occasion of National Science Day. Today we gather here to celebrate National Science Day, a day that commemorates the discovery of Raman effects by Sir C.V. Raman on February 28, 1928.
This day not only earned India its first Nobel Prize in physics, but also paved the way for numerous breakthroughs in the field of science. National Science Day is celebrated to promote scientific awareness, encourage young minds to take up science as a career, and most importantly, honor the contribution of scientists, researchers, and thinkers who have shaped our understanding of the world.
As we celebrate this day, we recognize the significance of science in addressing global challenges, driving innovations, and improving our quality of life. As we look to future, the scope of science is vast and exciting with emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, biotechnology, renewable energy. Science has potential to transform the world.
May our collective efforts in science continue to drive positive change and improve the lives of people around the world. And now it is our pleasure to invite our respected Director Ma'am to share her thoughts on the significance of National Science Day and inspire us to continue pursuing excellence in science.
Thank you, Minakshi. Thank you, Pratyusha. Very good morning to everyone. Wishing each and everyone a happy National Science Day. Esteemed speaker of this day, Dr. Elambrati, the Commissioner GHMC, who is a veterinarian by himself with a lot of efforts, interest, which he's still pursuing through the governance in science. Many thanks for you to take time out and be amongst us. Dear colleagues, very dear students, all the teachers of the 4 schools who are amongst us since morning, right from Plantation Drive, and lovely children. the whole NIB fraternity present out here. As they said, the young girls said, very beautifully you spoke in the video as well, both of you. And we are very happy. As they introduced the National Science Day, well, not the first Nobel laureate, the physicist, the Nobel Prize in 1930. It's not a small thing. Maybe that was a time in ignition to all of us. And how nice that we are keeping that fire continuously on. And it's not stopping. And the theme wherein it says, let's empower the younger ones. We look towards all the students. And what for? We're talking about the Vikasit Bharat. We're talking about the global leadership. I'm not going into the data and the numbers, what we have, how many patents, where do we stand, what is the 39th rank and all that. But I'll keep it very simple, dear students, especially the younger ones, school kids. We are able to address them thanks to their mentors, teachers, for being amongst us like every year. And it's a day which we celebrate. We are keeping the celebrations of National Science Day specifically in a domain of animal biotechnology. So truthfully, we would like to disseminate, encourage, share, and celebrate where we know little and we would like it to get spread through the younger ones. So I was talking about the global leadership. And through global leadership, innovations and innovations through science. Before I just close this, I'm not going to give a big lecture. The whole idea is you will get motivated yourself. It's all about which niche you're kept into, with what kind of people you're interacting with. And I'm sure the brilliant, bubbly kids who reached here 8:30 onwards and are with us must be getting the fragrance, scientific, academic fragrance of this institute. Right? Yeah, your smiles are good for me to understand that what I say, you absorb it that way. Let me also make a statement. It's an era we repeatedly are realizing and stating, and I would clearly state to all of you, especially the school kids, is an era of biological revolution. We have had IT revolution once, and through this biological revolution, a lot of innovations and the science which is linked with this biology, biotechnology, and animal biotechnology per se is very important. And why so? The human population of this country and animal population of this country, they are equal. They're equal. And so with this, I wish you all a great day ahead. And once again, I shall put it in a words when Dr. Ilambrati is here, who himself was a brilliant student, a gold medalist when he came to do his master's, and he was working in a very interesting area of buffalo muzzle glands, to collect the sweat and understand the calcium, magnesium, and all that. I think he would have more to talk. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Director Ma'am, for her really spirited words on this National Science Day program. So kids, school kids, you must have enjoyed the lab visit, right? Anything new you have seen today that you have not seen earlier? Good. So at least NIIB visit give you something new, right? So you must be waiting for your prizes as well. That will come after the lecture. Okay. So you have to still hold for another 45 minutes. So now it is time to formally invite our today's guest. So, ma'am already spoken about Dr. Ilamruthi, but I have few other information that I also have to share. So it is my privilege to welcome Dr. K. Ilamruthi, our esteemed guest for the National Science Day program. Dr. Ilamruthi has excelled in both academia and administrative services, wearing multiple hats throughout his distinguished career. He's a veterinary graduate from Tamil Nadu Veterinary and Animal Science University. He pursued his master's in veterinary science from Indian Veterinary Research Institute. He later moved to United States to earn a master's in public health from the prestigious Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health in Maryland. And then Dr. Ilamruthi joined the Indian Administrative Services in 2005, beginning his career as a sub-collector of Asifabad. Over the years, he has held several key positions, both at the state and the central level. Before assuming his current role as the Commissioner of Greater Hyderabad Municipality Corporation in October 2024, he also served as the Transport Commissioner of Telangana. So we are honored here to have Dr. Ilamruthi with us today, and I now invite him to share his thoughts on the intricate relationship between public health and governance.
Yeah, no, nothing. I just going to speak.
Okay, that's great.
That's all. Good afternoon to everyone here. Yeah, good afternoon. It's so nice to see kids' faces, so it makes us also feel young. And it's nice to meet all of you here today on this occasion of National Science Day. Let me begin by thanking Director of National Institute of Animal Biotechnology in extending an invitation to a speech on National Science Day. So ma'am was my guide, co-guide, when I was doing my PG, post-graduation. So when ma'am called me, I said, ma'am, I have come far away from science now. I am in administration. Am I a right person to be speaking? Then ma'am said, you are going to speak with kids, also with our scientists. So, and ma'am extended a lovely invitation. So I immediately agreed to come and meet all of you. I hope I am okay with English. You all get English, right? I hope today there's no issue in that. So good afternoon to all of you. And also, it's nice to meet all the young scientists as well as scientists and senior faculties and colleagues here. It's an honor to meet you as well. So it's a privilege to be here today at National Institute of Animal Biotechnology on the occasion of National Science Day. A day that honors Sir C.V. Raman and highlights the critical role of science in shaping our future. So I decided to speak on this topic, One Health and its critical role in urban governance. Because often we see health as human health, animal health, environmental health. But of late, the concept of One Health is that all of it are linked. They are all interconnected. So one decides the other. So humanity as a whole, along with the environment and animals, vast amount of our health, public health, is closely linked with animals and by extension to our ecosystem and to the environment. Our cities, including Hyderabad, are facing complex public health issues driven by rapid urbanization, pollution, climate change, and increased human-animal interactions. So it's not only unique to Hyderabad, it's the same in all other cities in India as well as along the cities globally. And in all, we have the issues of rapid urbanization, pollution, climate change, as well as increased human-animal interactions, and also spread of infectious diseases. These are all closely an issue of interface between public health, animal health, as well as environmental health. So One Health recognizes that humans, animals, and the environment share common health determinants. In an urban setting, this interconnection becomes even more visible in several ways. So as Commissioner of Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, every day my day starts with supervising the lifting of garbages. So we do this, we call this as solid waste collection and public health. So basically every day, all the solid waste that are being generated in this city comes to the 30 to 40% comes to via door-to-door garbage collection. The rest of the thing reaches our garbage vulnerable points or bins, and then subsequently it gets lifted to a secondary collection points. From the secondary collection points, we take it to the tertiary collection point. There we process those all the garbages. So can anyone guess how much waste we generate per day? Let's ask the youngsters. So anyone can venture, you can just make a guess. Science is all about getting wrong first. So any idea? Okay, how much people are there in Hyderabad? Any idea? Huh? About 1 crore. Okay. So, okay, yeah. So about 1 crore. So let's just get things correct. So how much waste we generate per day? Waste. Your bin, your garbage bin you are putting, no? Approximately how much we put? No, that's for the whole city. I'm saying per person. Average. About 750 grams. Okay. So it's like if you are a family of 4, you generate about 2.2 kilos. Okay. So your job ends with your garbage bin or you throw it somewhere. Then my job begins there. Okay. So every day I pick up all of that. Then we take it to a secondary collection point. From the secondary collection point, there are lorries which has closed containers. Then we take them to our dump yard. Then we segregate them. Okay. About 55% of it goes for 55%. A day per day, each of you gives 750 gram. That turns out to be some 7,000 tons. 7,000 tons. So many lorries of them carry them. So we segregate them. So about half of it, 55% of it, we burn to produce energy. So the rest of the things, about 18 to 20% goes as a compost, as fertilizer. So remaining goes as landfill. So that's the thing we do. But it is closely the spread of vector-borne diseases and other zoonotic infections and other infections. They are all depend on the proper solid waste management disposal. And they also, if not properly disposed, if people dump them in nalas, if people throw them in ponds and lakes, they also spoil our water bodies, our ponds, lakes, rivers, everything. So we have, GHMC does this door-to-door garbage collection, source segregation, scientific disposal, elimination of open garbage dumping, and creating awareness to reduce the waste. Because if every one of us reduces our waste, then overall waste generated also gets reduced. So that's the first job every day as a GHMC commissioner, every day morning I do. So it has a very close relationship with our health, with the health of the animals, as well as the health of the environment. And also we manage the stormwater drain. So whenever it rains, so all the urban flooding, which you see during rainy season, these are all the rain as well as the runoff from the drain has to go. We have network of about more than 500 lakes in the city, small, big. And then these through the nalas, it goes to the lake. From the lake, it goes to the Musi River. From the Musi River, it goes out of the city. This is how the stormwater runs. So we have issues in that. Some places stormwater drains are encroached, some places it's not properly there. So we have many issues. So we are resolving one by one. So the urban flooding due to poor stormwater drainage, waterlogging, infrastructure damage, vector-borne diseases, These are all other important, though it's a work of a Greater Hyderabad Municipal Corporation, but it's all very closely related to public health. And water stagnation also leads to mosquito breeding, as well as then you have mosquito issues, as well as the vector-borne diseases as well. So we are focusing on now clearing and maintaining the existing stormwater drain, developing new drainage systems in the high-risk zones, improving rainwater harvesting. We have to do our rainwater harvesting and minimizing the water stagnations. These steps we take in order to minimize the water stagnations. So this is another work we do. Interestingly, our engineering department is named as public health engineering. It's not named as civil engineering or any other department. It is named as public health engineering because ultimately whatever you do is for the purpose of public health. So we also have the issues of these vector-borne diseases like mosquito-borne dengue, chikungunya, malaria. And we have this water accumulation and poor drainage system as well as unplanned urbanizations. All those issues are having a very cross-sectoral interaction with the public health and our health, public health, as well as the animal health, as well as the environmental health. Third is we have the air pollution issues. So air pollution, we are better off compared to other cities, but still we have a lot to do here. And dust pollution due to construction-related activities is a major public health concern, contributing to respiratory disease, lung infection, and cardiovascular disease. GHMC has been taking steps as a mandatory green netting. We have recently taken up the decision to do a green netting of the construction site, water sprinkling, and also promoting green buffers, as well as to maintain and measure how much dust is emitted in the construction sites, so that the source control, so that it doesn't come to the common environment and thereby affecting our the quality of the breathing air. That is one of the contributor of PM 2.5 is our construction dust waste. So we have made a detailed planning to reduce it so that our urban environments are as healthy as advanced countries. And we have other thing called our food safety inspectors are there. We have a big food safety department. So the foodborne illnesses arises from contaminated water, poor hygiene in food handling, and cross contamination. So the very important thing is safe food production, storage, and distribution. So many of you will go outside and eat in hotels and restaurants, and then it's my job as a GHMC commissioner to ensure those kitchens are kept clean according to standards, and the food produced is good for human consumption. So we have a vast network of food inspectors as well as our veterinary department, which keenly watches all the, takes up an inspection and as well as engage with them, food producers and food handlers, so that there are enough safeguards so that what we eat is ultimately good for human health. So those aspects also we look into it. And then we have other zoonotic diseases and rabies. We have issues of 36% of the world rabies deaths are happening in India. 36%. So that's quite huge number. And then we have issues with this majority portion is happening in children. And we have been having a very big veterinary wing which does 80% sterilization in the stray animals, stray dogs. We have mass vaccination drives. So these are the efforts we make to reduce the zoonotic disease and control. So these are the various spheres. Our actions are closely linked with public health and animal health, as well as I say, it's also an ecosystem. So it's like basically, nowadays throughout the world, they call that as One Health, because our health is not different from animal health or different from environmental health. We are all closely interlinked. That's why it's called One Health. So while just explaining all that, the GHMC alone may not be able to achieve all of it. As a Greater Hyderabad Commissioner, I also work with the Health Department, Animal Husbandry, Pollution Control Board, Water Board. Many of the parallel agencies are there. We work with all of them. We also work with academic and research partnerships also, especially in control of mosquitoes, because it's a very specialized subject. So while we take up our regular activities, we also tie up with esteemed institutes to see what sort of mosquitoes are breeding, why dengue is becoming more rampant in recent years, Earlier we used to have malaria. Now malaria is gone. Now more and we are facing dengue. We have an app to track each of the dengue case every day. So to have an epidemiology of where these dengue cases are getting come, and also in source control, especially mosquito control, we have a huge team for larva and source control. We have huge challenges and issues there, but we are trying to address them. We are also taking international best practices. Mita country, other states, what they are doing, we are doing all of it. So conclusion, I would like to conclude by saying that as an urban administrator, so presently which the job I am doing, and it's closely linked with public health. Whatever I do, whether I build a road, whether I build a drain, whether I clean the garbage, it's all ultimately for keeping all our health, urban space livable and healthy. So public health policies, the policies that we take should be science driven. What is science? Can anyone say? Let me ask you a question. What is science? Is it lab? Can anyone say that? What is science? What you understand as science? I am not asking dictionary definition. Huh? Say whatever you wish to say, you say. What is it? Subject? Science is a study of? Okay. So science means okay. So let me explain you a simple term. Science driven means we should know the truth by searching for evidence. So you have to collect evidence in order to look at the truth in an unbiased way. And then once you found that's not the permanent, if evidence changes, your opinion also will change subsequently. So this is basically an unbiased way of looking at the truth or issue or whatever. Then once you know the issue, then you know how to solve it then. Then you have to search solutions. Now, many solutions are not available. Some of them are available. So science is an unbiased way of thinking to searching for the truth. So science driven means it's evidence driven. Our policies must be evidence driven so that to achieve the results. And it should be interdisciplinary because we alone, we will not be able to solve many of the issues. Oftentimes we solve the issues in collaboration with other departments, other institutes, research communities, stakeholders, all that. And it's community oriented. We closely engage with people because ours is GHMC corporation has 150 elected corporators who came through election. And then we have an elected body, so through which we work. So on this National Science Day, let's affirm our commitment to building safer, healthier, and more resilient cities, using scientific knowledge to shape our urban policies, emphasizing prevention, collaboration, and sustainability in public health governance. So I thank again for inviting me today to interact with all the kids. It's in fact a very happy occasion to interact with the kids. I remember when I was in college, there used to be a program called Young Scientist Program. So there is an exam. I took that exam to visit 1 week Baba Atomic Research Center. So when first year of my college, I visited. So I was also guest of them. They shown all the atomic reactors. Anil Kakodkar was the chairman that time. I met him long after in Delhi airport one day. When I was an IAS officer, I was collector or something. I went for Delhi meeting. I met him in the airport. He was sitting quietly. No one was around him. He's retired probably. Then I told him, sir, I didn't introduce myself. I identified him. Then he was surprised. In the world, very less people identify me because they know my name, but no one knows my face. Then he said, sir, I came. You are the director that time. And I roamed around this institute and then you were shown all the reactors, everything. We enjoyed actually. Those trips were very much useful. So I also wish all of you take this occasion. This is one of the most premier institute in the country. Many of my colleagues, classmates are all working in this institute. So this is one of the premier institute. So even the smell and the ideas that you get in this place I wish they inspire you to do something bigger, either as a scientist or as an industrialist. Hyderabad is a place for many of the pharmaceutical and vaccine industries. I wish each one of you start one industry to produce such an atmosphere here. So I wish all of you all the best. I thank Madam once again for taking time to invite me here. I also thank all the scientists and colleagues who are here. I feel deeply inside, I feel like I came to an alma mater. Thank you so much. Nice talking to all of you.
So, thanks, Dr. Ilamrati, for taking his really from his busy time and coming here and interacting with you. He actually kept some more time to interact with the students. So students, you get really possibly less chance of interacting with real world people who are solving this city's problem, right? So if you have any questions related to your schools, your community, or the city as such, you can have throw some question.
Anyone? 2, 3. I may not know the answer. Let me be very clear.
Raise your hand.
I don't claim that I know all the answer. I may try.
What measures are taken to prevent dust from entering other people's homes in construction sites
Yes,
because
who
of
is
the
that?
rapid construction? Me, sir.
Who is that person asking that question? Yeah.
Sir.
What's your name?
My name is Aro. I'm from Vista School.
Okay. Where do you stay?
I stay in Lingampalli, Hyderabad.
Yeah, that's why you are correctly asking this question. So good. What's your name? You said I just missed out.
Aro.
Oh, yeah, please be seated. So thing is, this dust comes in the city from many sources. So one of the main source is construction dust, and another these unpaved roads, sometimes roadside these things, and of course from smoke and other issues. We don't have other issues which we face in other part of the country are not here. So to the extent of construction dust, I am the responsible because I am the one who gives the permission to all of them. Most of them, because GHMC within this area, there are also some around 8-9 municipalities are there. So those areas they don't come under my control. So what we recently did is we issued a guidelines. We said very clearly, as part of building permission, we are insisting that they should put a green net. Okay. And also, there is also 2018 dust pollution control rules are there. So now we are mandating it. Each of the person should also comply with those rules and give a compliance to us. We are also insisting more than 2,000 square meter, that is almost more than half-acre sites, which is coming up for building permission. We are also insisting that you install a PM 2.5 monitor inside so that you log the data. It's not only you claim that you obey. When we check, it should be proven also that you are obeying. And also the noise decibel control also inside, so that we log the data like other countries, so that when somebody complains or we check, we want to ensure that these places do not emit dust, because in other countries also they construct, it doesn't come out to this thing. So we are putting up these things, and also we are also taking efforts to remove these construction demolition waste. Construction demolition wastes are also at times illegally get dumped in the footpath and other areas. So we are getting it removed. So these are the tools we have. So we initiated some action. I hope to see some result within a month or two. We have identified all the ongoing constructions. We have insisted that they should follow these measures also. Good question.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. I am Dhruti from Avian Vida.
Yeah.
So,
Dhruti.
yeah,
Okay.
Dhruti. I have this doubt. Like, for suppose after construction, there are some materials left and they're just like left outside. How do you dispose them properly? Like the debris and all of it. How does it?
Where do you live?
I live in Nalagandla.
Okay. So this is also another big issue. This issue, what you are saying is another issue for me actually. Every day morning we monitor how much of construction demolition waste penalties are imposed. Because we are imposing penalties on them. After I came, we collect almost about 1 crore of penalties on this. Because These what they do, they are supposed to send these things to a construction demolition waste processing centers. There are 6 of them. So they charge a money and they process. When we give permission, we say that whatever the waste that you generate, you need to send there. But many of them are not obeying because of economic reasons. They transporting it to all the places cost them money. So they want to dump it here. So we are penalizing them. We are negatively incentivizing them by issuing a penalty under law.
Hi, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, here. Continuing on the first 2 questions, is there anything that you can do to the vehicles that transport construction materials?
Yes. That also next.
Because in this region, the rate of infrastructure development is unimaginable, and it is always this trucks taking construction material without covering. So if you're a 2-wheeler driver and you're going in this outskirts of city, once you come back, you definitely have to take a bath. Otherwise, it's complete dust everywhere.
Actually, in Chennai, I used to study. So where I had a Hero Honda Splendor. So if you drive and come back, if you just do this, there will be a black dust. It used to be.
I'm facing that right now.
That's what I understand. I relate with you completely. So thing is, that all these vehicles which are transporting these construction material also, because I thought they may not understand. That's the reason I didn't tell. So we are insisting now that it should be covered first. And then their tires and these things, we are also insisting that they should properly spray water on that so that it doesn't come out of the site or go to the site with all the dust. So thing is, we have insisting now in the building permission now, but then we need to implement them as well. So we are now identifying the sources, which are the construction buildings, and then we are trying to issue notices to them to create these things. So I relate with you, whatever the issue, but we are acting. I hope we are soon able to solve this actually.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Because I live in the city, and every day I also do live here, travel here. So I completely relate with you. Thank you. Last question. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
I'm Snigdha from Silver Oaks. I would like to ask a question. As we live in Hyderabad, a very urbanized city, I still walk on the roads and see a lot of garbage, not only construction dust and all, a lot of garbage. Even the GHMC is taking efforts to go door to door to collect trash. I see trash all along the footpath that I walk. What is your opinion about this, and how do you think we as people can raise more awareness about Indians or Hyderabadis not throwing just trash on the road or anywhere, rather use a trash bin?
You are raising a very important point. So this is the issue that we are facing now. There are 2 things in that. The question that you asked, there are 2 things in that. One is, of course, please be seated. So one is a garbage cannot go to dump yard on its own. Okay, so it cannot just disappear from your home and appear in the dump yard. That's where we come. So our job is to collect, first segregate, collect, transport, scientifically dispose. This is the whole chain. In fact, from secondary transport onwards, that is the moment it comes to the location. When I used to work earlier in GHMC, there used to be bins. But those bins are very ugly and then not properly maintained. That's a different thing. But at least there were some bins. So it used to come there. From there, it used to get transported to the secondary transport. From the secondary transport, it used to go to our tertiary processing facilities. 2-3 of them are there. It goes there, get processed, and then they get disposed. But what happened at some point in time, these bins were removed. So what happened then? We have not given any alternative. So people started putting them in the places where bins were there. The garbage started accumulating. We call them stylishly as garbage vulnerable points. But they are not garbage vulnerable points, but basically we removed the bins. So those places, these garbages used to come. To address that, now we have again introduced smart bins. Smart bins means the bins will sense how much of it gets filled, and then it is linked to a collection vehicle, so that the collection vehicle makes the route and they collect it. So that from the bin, the issue I hope it will be resolved within the next 2-3 months. But the issue comes from the house to the bin. The house to the bin, that is called our door-to-door garbage collection, is presently not is good. I won't say excellent, because it is we are better than many cities. But I would say only 38 to 40% is properly collected. Rest of the thing, honestly speaking, the people are coming and throwing it in this place. So if we somehow we are making efforts in that. So if we make door-to-door garbage collection, then it will definitely improve that. The fourth point is, as you rightly said, not many people will say, you said it nicely, about littering. We throw many things outside because, first of all, why we throw? Because in common place, we don't see the bin. You have something in your hand, you cannot carry it to your home. So you want to put it somewhere. So I lived in US also, so you will immediately see a bin anywhere somewhere to throw it. But here it is not there. That's the one reason people throw it somewhere. And the second reason is also that we, as you said, awareness is not there and penalization is also not there. Because if people throw, you need to penalize them. Otherwise, like Singapore. Otherwise, it is not going to resolve that issue. So that's the last one. So first, whatever we have to do as GHMC, we are trying to resolve one by one. Then we will come at last to the littering part of it. So it's a complex problem, but we are trying to resolve. But yes, I'm very happy that we all want a clean cities. Nobody wants a dirty place. So we are making efforts, but it's not a small problem. It's actually a big problem. If you handle it, then you will understand the scale of it is quite huge, but it is solvable. It's not any rocket science. It's solvable, and we are making efforts towards that. Thank you. Which class you are studying? Oh, which school? Okay, good. So nice talking to you. It looks like I was also in Hopkins sometime back. So I also used to ask questions. Even in college also I used to ask. In PG also we used to ask. So whenever you ask questions, and it actually makes you think also. So it's good.
So sir, we have 4 schools today. 3 schools has put forward their questions. We have 1 more school still left.
Yeah, you please ask. I promise not. I don't claim I know everything, but I can answer whatever I am dealing with.
Good morning, sir. My name is Pranita. I'm from St. Tiadi Global School. So everyone, we're behind construction, infrastructure, and all we see nowadays is 40 plus floors buildings, and it just keeps on increasing. And rest of the part of the city, we see garbage dump yards. So what about the future of agriculture? I mean, we need food for survival, right? So if we just keep on buying, if we just keep on investing more place for infrastructure, what about planting, and what about agriculture?
Very good question. What's your name?
Pranita, sir.
Pranita. Which floor you are living? The apartment?
Sir, ground floor.
Okay. So how many floors are there?
Sir, 5 floors.
Okay. You don't like tall buildings?
Sir, even if I like it, I mean, I like food a lot, so it concerns me.
Okay. So there is a book. I recommend you to read a book called Triumph of the City. Triumph of the City by a Professor Edward Glaser. He is a professor of urban development in Harvard. So he wrote that book. I also used to think like you until I read that book. So I was Guntur Municipal Commissioner long back. So I also spoke like that to you, like what you are speaking, like we are urbanizing, there is no place for agriculture. You to some senior officer who was working in GHMC that time. I won't name him. He subsequently worked in Prime Minister office. He is now somewhere. I think he was somewhere in Government of India. So he gifted me that book. Please read, come back. So I read that book called Triumph of the City. Yeah, I encourage you to read that.
Okay, sir.
So what he says, what is a city? A city is the whole humanity contracts itself to just 3% of the earth mass. So the closer we come, the closer you live, the more condensed the cities are. We leave that much of space outside for other purposes. So what he is very, very beautiful. He just explains everything. So he will break every one of your myth. You will think that city growing tall is not good for this thing. That's the myth I used to have. But he says, no, evidence points otherwise. And then because every building creates 6 externalities. What is externalities? The impact on this thing. One is, of course, road and parking. We need vehicle. We need travel. Second thing, you need to have stormwater drain, sewerage, water. All those externalities it creates. All of them are addressable. So he says basically that you contract the humanity into 3% of the space. That's called urban cities. So rest of the place you are basically leaving for the purpose of agriculture and other activities. So living in a city, contracting ourselves is not actually bad. It's actually good for the planet. So he says, not me. So he is a professor, though he must have read, like all the scientists here, he was a professor in urban development in Harvard. It's not easy to get there. So that means he must have gone through so much of vetting and peer evaluation to get there. So but it's a very interesting book to read. So I request you to read that book. Online it is 250 rupees. Just you, or else I will get it ordered and give it to director. You take the book from my side. So it will change your mindset totally. The way, because if you see in city like Atlanta in US, it's spread. It's a sprawl. It doesn't have any high rise. So it takes so much in terms of transport and then energy, everything. In India also we have places where you live far away. You have to travel, you have to go, come. And then you are also occupying that much of space outside, which is otherwise would have been used for agriculture and other purposes. So it's his argument. There are both views, but I like that book because after reading the book, I felt he's actually making very profound scientific sense. So he spent his whole life in this only, urban development only. So it's nice to hear you. Nice to close this lecture with his book.
So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So let's thank sir for beautifully addressing all your concerns. Yeah, for him. So I now request Director Madam to please give a program appreciation to our esteemed guest. So thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. So now we come to the most interesting part of this thing, prize distribution. So I hand over to Pratyusha and Meenakshi to please announce the prizes for all of those who have participated in various competition. So I hope the best win the prize. No, first we do the first. Okay.